What is going on, everyone? We are here for week 7 of the GT3 Fanatec Challenge Track Guide Series. This week we're at Circuit Zolder in the Mercedes AMG GT3 car. So, pretty excited for this one. It's a cool little circuit. The back section with the tight chicane over the crest should be a bit of fun coming through that area. I think the racing will be quite good here. There's a couple of places where you can make passes and stuff like that. So, should be quite good. Appreciate everybody that has been watching these guides, interacting with the guides, interacting with VMM in general. It's been really cool to see, guys. Really appreciate it. And yeah, there you go. So we will kick off week 7 in the Fanatec GT3 Track Guide Challenge at Circuit Zolder. Let's go. Okay guys, so now we're going to break down the lap. So as you come down into turn 1, it's actually quite a good marker here. So it seems very late, but you want to break between the end of the Coke Zero sign and the start of the white pit wall. And now this one's a bit unique in the way that you can either be second or third. I use second, I find it just rotates the car a little bit nicer on the apex, personally. It obviously is a little bit slower into the corner because you've got that extra downshift. You're not able to flow the car as much, but I just feel like you get a better drive off the corner, if that makes sense, because you're able to rotate it quicker and then get back to 100% throttle. So use this marker here. I sort of line up with the end of the building straight ahead, and then I don't know, it's weird. I don't exactly follow the line down the wall. I start to drift, and I sort of line up more with the yellow stacks. I don't even know what they are, actually, to be honest with you, till I get to about this point here, which is about 3 of the 4th gap in the wall, or what would be a gap in real life. That's when I turn the car at the corner. So second gear, I turn the car in nice and early, and then I want to get 2 tyres over the back of the curb like this. So the other beauty about being in second gear is when you come off the corner, you're actually only going to end up about this point here. So in third, I found that I was pushing right to the edge of the curb, and then I was having to set myself up all the way back on the left-hand side for the next corner, where at least in second, yes, you're a little bit slower in and you're not carrying the same momentum. You sort of put yourself in a better position here to then be able to set up the next corner. So I come back across to the left-hand side, but I don't go right to the wall, right to the white line. I stay about this far here. So I brake as the sand begins to start, and I stay in third gear. So if you're second, you go to third, there's a very good chance you're going to stay in third. So I brake at the sand, and then stay in third, and then once I get to the blue cone, I start to turn the car at the corner. Clip the apex at this point here, so just before the yellow coping on the inside fence is where I sort of clip it, and then the car will track out wide. Now I want to hit the back curb on the left hand side right where the end of them little bumpy sausage curbs are behind the normal curb. So I want to clip it just here. From this point here, I'm able to rotate the car around, still in third gear, but I'm able to carry all the throttle out up to fourth gear on the exit, close to this curb, then let the car run to the edge of the road. Right, so fourth gear, and then I'm using the start of this, or the end of this escape road right here. This is where I brake the car back to third gear to get the car to rotate in. And then I turn in just before the start of this escape road. And then I turn the car in at the corner. Third gear, get nice and close to the curb. You want to apex at the end of the bumpy curbs on the outside of the normal racing curb. And then from that point there, you should be able to carry the throttle the whole way through the corner. Right out to the edge of the curbs. Up to fourth. You'll stay in fourth as you're coming down here. You want to start braking at this 100-meter board just here. So right here is where you want to start braking. Nice big brake pressure. Back to second gear. And then I turn the car in very late here. And I only use minimal curb on the entry of the corner. So I get to the end of the red and white wall, and then I start to turn the car at the corner. In second, I use 2 tyres like this over the curb. And then what I want to try and do is I try to straight line the car across this part here. But it is quite hard because as you rotate in, the car tends to over-rotate. So you've got to try and be sort of able to get the car straightened up to go over the second curb. You're going to use all the road coming through here, this part here. Up to third. Over the crest, I start to track towards the right, and then as soon as I come over the crest, head back towards the left. I want to clip the curb right as the car is starting to straighten up. And then I want to brake at the coloured line change here. So I know that's a pretty hard marker to spot in the heat of a battle, but that's where I'm braking the car. Fourth gear, back to second gear again. And then what I do is I turn the car in at, I wouldn't say it's at the end of the curb, but it's very close. It's about this point here. So it's about two red squares from the end of the curb. And I'm in second. And when I turn the car in right, I use the curb, but I don't hit the little white things. But then you'll notice you want to sort of straight line, and you'll see that you can use a lot more curb here. So as long as you don't hit those little bumpy curbs behind on the green stuff, you're fine. So I use all of this curb. I sacrifice a little tiny bit of exit here just to set myself up more in the middle, so then I can actually drive through the next segment of corner. So I set myself up at this point here. Come round here, get as close to the curb as possible. Up to third gear, use all the escape curb, carry it through. Sometimes there's a little lift through here just to get the car balanced. Up over the crest, up to fourth gear. And then you're looking for the 100-meter board on the fence just here. So the 100-meter board is just there where that orange pole is. Obviously, it's quite high in the air, so you'll be able to spot it when you're racing. And then from this point here, I brake the car in a nice straight line back to first gear. I sort of aim for the billboard at the edge as I'm braking. And then I turn the car in. I wouldn't say it's early, but I turn the car in just before the end of the grass here on the left-hand side. So once I get to this point, turn the car at the corner. First gear, I want to apex late. And then that way I'm able to straight line the car through the corner, use a little bit of curb here, get the car to follow through. Flat through here. And then you're looking for that big blue sign across the track. And then a big brake pressure. Back to second gear. Turn in at there's a little pole on the behind the fence just there. I turn in at that point there. And I want to sort of sacrifice mid-corner here, so I clip this apex, set myself up a little bit wider, sort of line up with the second white square on the tyre wall. That just gives me a little bit more rotation into the corner once we pass them white curbs. Clip the curb, let the car track right out to the edge of the road, and then start to run it down to the start-finish line to do another lap. And there you go, guys. That is your Week 7 track guide. in the Mercedes AMG at Circuit Zolder. I hope this has helped you. Good luck for Week 7's racing, and we'll see you next week for Week 8. Thanks, guys.